One. Hello, all my Water Invitational viewers. Welcome back to another special episode of post draft reactions. Fresh off of the live stream, I'm joined here by two of the tournament organizers and captains of teams in the Water Invitational. First, the namesake of the tournament, the captain of the Tideweavers, Water. How are you doing, my friend?
Good. I'm doing great. I'm pretty happy with my picks.
All right, and as well as Aurel, the big man behind the production of everything, and captain of the French Communist Party, not the CCP, as I alluded to in the preview video, and I'm mistaken for saying that. How are you doing tonight, Aurel?
Very good. I think the draft was good. I think the stream was very nice. We had a lot of activities in the chat, so yeah, feeling very well about the draft and also about the stream.
Very, very good. So I'm going to go through and ask you guys a couple of questions, just like I have with every other captain. And there's like no special treatment, but there is a little bit of an extra treat at the end for all the viewers. So first thing I want to get started on is what were you guys' kind of like drafting philosophy, right? You guys were kind of middle of the pack in terms of where you got to draft. So if you guys could give us a little bit of insight on how you went about going to draft your team this uh, split, and we'll start with Oral because I believe it's your first time playing, or you didn't play last split. I don't remember.
Uh, I do believe so. It is my first time captain. Last split I was not playing due to me wanting to do mainly prod.
Mm-hmm.
The year before I was playing as a player for the Snails, I believe, was Arcana team at that time. But yeah, first time as a captain. I think I wanted that role. In terms of drafts, like what I was thinking mainly first is like I want my two first pick to be like two players I really want to play with, and I think um, Jacob was definitely the one that came up to my mind because I think he's very insanely good mid laner, and he would not have gone through that first phase. So knowing that the chance to be third after Huvi and Jack choose their position, I was gonna get Jacob if he was still open at that point. And then a bit going with the flow, according to some picks I wanted to have that got already picked. I went with KTL and followed then with what was remaining and what I think was the strongest of the remaining ones. So mainly focusing on Jacob, getting the second pick in my top three, which KTL was here, and then the two other getting the strongest possible, but also people I would enjoy playing with.
Okay, wonderful. Sounds like you're quite happy with how everything went for you. And Water, what about yourself?
So, I actually, funny enough, I was talking to Aurel about the same thing before the draft even happened. I was asking him who his first pick was going to be because he picked before me, and he was the one guy who could mess my whole plan up. And he told me he was honest. He was like, "I'm picking Jacob, bro." And I was like, "Man, come on, bro," because like that's also who I was going to pick. I played on a team with him. I said I thought Jacob was one of the best teammates I've ever played with. But yeah, the moment I figured that out, I was like, I'm not getting Jacob. Like he's out of the question. I need to adapt. And my next best idea was I was basically trying to abuse pick order in the sense that like Zenobia can't pick a jungle and Albino can't pick a mid laner. So I would basically be hoping that like one or the other wouldn't take a certain support or top laner I wanted, which is why um, my first two picks were not a support. My second pick wasn't a support, but my first pick was a top laner
Yep.
because top lane was, in theory, my most contestable role that I was worried about because I really wanted a specific player, but in support I didn't really care. So I really wanted instrument, so I got him as my first pick, which you know that's what I expected, and it happened. And then my second pick was either going to be Smize or it was going to be Arcana. Um, I realized like midway through the draft that if Zenobia ended up picking a support, my whole draft plan was screwed because either I had to pick a support there, and then like risk getting a worse jungler, or um, pick a jungler and then risk getting Ularth, which I don't think Ularth is that bad, but I didn't. That wasn't what my goal was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so overall, I think my goal ended up being the exact roster that I had. That's what I had in my mind for like just trying to map out what everyone would pick, you know, who everyone wanted, and the 4 players I have are the 4 exact players that I thought I would have. So
Oh.
I guess that means I'm pretty happy with it because it's the team I expected, to be honest. So
Hey, I mean, if everything went to plan, that means it was likely a pretty good plan, or maybe it was too predictable, but that we will see in due
maybe.
time. So, uh, on top of that, following up on your kind of just team vibe and your like team chemistry and all that, what is your like kind of initial gut reaction that you feel towards your teammates and how the overall trend of your tournament will go? And we'll start with Water this time.
So my team, I actually really like my team. I think my top laner and my support are very chill. Um, you know, they're very. It feels like they're nonchalant. They're kind of like, you know, whatever, easygoing. And then I myself, like, I try to be, but like I kind of fit the flow basically. Like, so if 2 people are mad, I'm gonna be mad too. You know what I mean? It's just kind of how I am. I like fit the vibe. My mid laner, she has her like tilting moments, but for the most part, in a competitive setting, the most she'll do is go quiet. I've seemed to realize, especially when
Mm-hmm.
she's playing with better players, um, which she is. And my jungler Arcana, he's pretty washed right now. Um, he sent me a DM. He's like, "How could you say I'm washed on the stream?" But I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Like, I'm pretty sure he's Emerald or something, and he peaked like Masters above 100 LP like a year and a half, 2 years ago maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's such a long time since I played with him. And my reason for wanting him was I knew he had the potential. Um, and he's kind of similar to Star. Like he'll get pissed off at like a certain thing that happens in a game, and then like he'll try to be really mad about it. But like when it comes to competitive, he will set it aside and he will complain about it after the game or you know something like that. But it's nothing too crazy really. Um, so yeah, I think in a game, I think we're all gonna be locked in. The only guy I'm a little worried about is my support. He's a little freaky sometimes, but
Mm.
he's actually the first support I've ever played with. So um, yeah, I think it'll be fun. I think on paper my team looks very strong. I think my jungler is getting underestimated a lot for his potential, and I think that come game days we'll be ready.
Are you sliding Arcana into top 1 jungle conversations in the tournament, or what are we
No,
saying
never,
here?
not at all.
Okay.
I just think he's top 3. That's all. Like I
Okay.
don't think he's like for example, right? Newt and Feldy were downplaying him hella. Like they were saying that they gap him. Like Arcana's
Mm.
nothing what he used to be.
Mm.
Like he's garbage. Like his mental sucks. You know stuff like that. And I just think obviously maybe I'm putting a few words in their mouth. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I'm putting a few, but I don't think I am. I don't think I am genuinely. Um, that's how they feel about him, which you know it's fair to feel that way. But I want him to prove them wrong, and
Alrighty.
I'm
Uh,
spoiled by that. So
yeah. And then Oral, what's your gut reaction?
Uh, I think my first reaction is with my team. I can only be tilted towards myself. Like I do think I'm generally with players, maybe not all at like my peak level, you know, but on a bad day from myself, I could only play myself, and I think that's something important mentally when I go into games. It's like being able to have players around you that can perform, and so that would be my gut reaction. Like in terms of my team, is like all of them played enough competitive to know what it means and to have like also a feeling on when to lock in, when it's more fun, etc. So I have no doubt that in competitive settings, when we'll be matched, etc., we'll find ways to win every game. So that's always like a good point when you can already see the synergy happening in your team and how you can win games before even like starting to scream or playing together. And so then in terms of team bonding, that will be the part where obviously, never played with Jacob competitive, never played with Rect, or I played a bit with Dig in the past because we were in a team with KTL and him that blew up. That was in Iceborne. But I do know KTL enough. KTL know well Jacob, currently played together. He know Dig too. So I think that's also why I pick KTL. Is like I thought like any people I pick after will know KTL because he's like more famous than myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there will be any beef or ego between us. I think it's gonna be pretty fun, and I have I think my players are pretty tryhard focused, which is pretty good because I think we're gonna need that at some point.
All right, so you guys heard it here first. KTL is a massive slut. So
He is the
Real.
definition of it. That is so true. he's, he's known in the streets. That's right.
he's also known in the sheets too, but that's besides the point.
He is.
So now that we've gotten kind of team vibes out of the way, overall, you're looking at the grand scheme of the tournament. Where do you guys both think your teams are going to end up at the end of the best of one section, right? From 1 to 7, where do you guys think you're going to slot in? And we'll,
I'll start. I think my team isn't gonna do as good in the best of ones. I think we're gonna drop a few games. I think we're gonna end up like middle of the pack, like 3 or 4.
mm-hmm. 3 or 4.
I kind of think we'll fail at like the beginning of the season.
Okay. I could see that definitely happening to anyone because BO1s are just that volatile. And Aurel, where are you projecting?
And actually, I do think, funny enough, we're very good best of one teams. Because I think like my team bring raw power, which in best of one is very important. We're definitely gonna have to adapt when later. I don't think it's a championship thing, but more like a strategic thing, where there's some team that are like, diesel, like they take time to ramp up. I
Mm-hmm.
think we're like an electric car, like we're we're an
Right,
electric
fast
supercar,
right out of the
super
gate.
strong.
Okay.
Exactly. We'll do the 0 to 100 pretty like in a few seconds,
Mm-hmm.
but then we'll see best of 3, best of 5. I think that will be like where the challenge starts. So I'm not gonna. I'm gonna say probably gonna finish in the top 3.
Top
Depending
3.
on like because again it's best of one, anything can happen, but like either we finish third and we go to play it, or we're in the top 2 with a roster like that. And if we take that seriously enough, I think we should be good for top 3. Yeah.
Alrighty. And so I'm going to add an extra stipulation to you guys on this question that I haven't given to anybody else. If you were to pick a team to win the tournament today, right? You were predicting and you were going to bet money on a team to win the tournament today. And you are not allowed to pick yourself or the team of the other captain and call. Who are you picking? And we'll start with Aurel. You're thinking Indigo? No, you're good. I'm down for that. Indigo. Why Indigo's team?
I think that their team brings insane synergy, and Punda has won the first 2 water invitationals for that reason. Like Punda, it didn't seem like he was drafting a fully cohesive, like good team. Like both seasons, us as like draftees or I guess like drafters, like us as owners looked at that team, and every other captain looked at that team and thought, oh, they're the weakest. Like
Mm-hmm.
he troll picked, and he ended up winning it all. And I'm not saying that Indigo troll picked by picking Punda this time. I'm just saying that their team looks like it's clear to see that Indigo is picking because they're his boys. You know what I mean? And I think it's the first time that Indigo's actually done something like that. So I think in season 1 and 2 he was a little more tryhard about his draft.
Yep.
And I feel like this time he's more laid back, more chill. He just wants who he wants to play with. And I feel like that in itself is very admirable. And I feel like if there was one team who I would say would win the whole thing, I think they have what it takes.
All right. And Aurel, what's your thoughts?
Look, I'm gonna be original. I'm not gonna choose Indigo because I think the points that Water brought up are very correct. And to be original, weirdly enough, but from experience as someone who watched it, I will put most likely Stroy's daters. And I know it sounds stupid because like some players here don't like each other or like are pissed at each other, and I think that's pretty peak. But it's like if there is a coin flip for the team, it will be theirs. Like it's either 7th or 1st. I don't think there's an in between. I don't think this team gonna win. Like either they manage to find a way to win one game, and then they have their horse, um, But yeah, to go all the way, I don't know. But if I have to pick a team that isn't like Indigo's, mine, or Waters, I'll pick Stray Staters. Because like there's a vibe. There's like a vibe of we hate each other, and that usually bring people for in the ladder.
Fair enough. I will say that speaking on the Punda streak, people are saying that Punda had a fraud run to the chip last season because they had 2 FF wins in playoffs. Obviously, that's out of their control, but the streets have been saying it was a fraud chip. We'll have to see if they can shut up the haters. All I'm saying. Uh,
Sure, yeah.
so now we've picked the top of the pile. So now we're gonna look at the bottom of the pile. So at the end of the best of one session, we are losing one of our teams here. The 7th place team will be removed from the competition. Who you guys suspect that team will be? And we'll go with Aurel first this time.
So the seventh team. Can I say Stray
Yeah,
Staters
you're
again?
totally welcome to say it again. It's totally allowed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but like this team is so coin flip, and I just want to face them to see like how it feels. So I'm gonna say them too. I think they either win it all or finish seventh. There's no in between.
Okay, fair
I'll pick them.
enough. And Water?
See, like, I want to say Zen's team, but I think they're going to be really good in the BO1s. I feel like Ubi's team has angles to win. If I'm going to go real crazy here, I'm going to go off on a whim. Albino's team.
Really?
And I think the reason is because isn't there one team eliminated from the best of ones?
Yes, the last place team is eliminated from BO1s.
I feel like if we're thinking on like a pure scale of like the best of ones, I don't know why, but like something about that team seems like in the best of ones they'll flop. Like I know they have Ryan and I know he'll run games, but like Ryan seems like he's really strong the later a series goes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit of like scaling within the series as
Yeah,
opposed
it's
to.
like a scaler, yeah. At least I feel like that, I guess.
No, I think that's totally a acceptable way to approach
Other than
somebody.
them, I would have said Hui's team, but I wanted to be original, and honestly, I could see a world. I could totally see a world where their team drops.
I don't disagree necessarily. I mean, given because of the volatility of best of ones, I do think it's a very contested race for everything. Like I could see every team picking up at least 2 wins in the best of one section, and then we have us having to do some funny tiebreaker shenanigans to determine who actually makes it out. Because I could very well see that coming to fruition, right? I really don't think this is going to be a 6-0, 5-1, 4-2, 3-3 like scenario. I think it's going to be. I think we'll have a couple of like. I think we'll have maybe like 1 5-2 team, a couple 4-3s, maybe a 3-4, and then a couple of like 2-5, or take one game score from each of those. But you guys know what I'm saying, right?
Definitely.
I think it
Yeah,
could be a very mixed bag right in the middle. I think it could be a very competitive top to bottom.
I agree.
And so, following up on kind of just the general state of League of Legends, right? You guys decided to run the tournament in the new year, so it was going to be on the on the new season, the new patch, new items, new systems, new stuff in the game, role quests, right? So along those lines, what have you guys done? Like, have you done any preparation already? Some research, some games on PBE to learn the new patch, or are you gonna wait for that to hit live and then spend some time with your teammates to actually get into the meat and potatoes of it all? And we'll start with Oral
I guess.
again, or Water, you can go.
no, go for it, Water. Don't worry. I'll let you speak first.
I just figured you went first last time, you know. So like,
No,
Yeah, go for it.
you
Go
go
for
for it.
I guess honestly, I haven't seen too much about the new season. What I have seen, I feel like I've had a very controversial take on it. As far as like a team-wide take thing, I have heard a lot about like what Cadril says because I'm a huge Closer Jones fan.
Mhm.
So, like his opinion is like the game hasn't really changed. Like there's a few new items that no one builds, and then like the turret things are cool, but like some turrets just feel impossible to take, and how like objectives are a lot harder to kill, but the game still feels like a team fight meta, right?
Hmm.
And obviously, I don't want to get into like the interest in I don't know the word, but the intricate things of like how I feel about each role, but like the TLDR of how I feel is like I feel like ADC isn't as OP as everyone thinks it's gonna be, and I feel like top lane is actually probably going to be in one of the most relevant states it's been in a while, which is why I felt like picking a top laner was going to be very important. But I think for the most part, Aurel and I both. I mean, Aurel, you can comment on this too when it's your turn, but I
Hmm.
think for the most part, the biggest reason why we wanted to do it the new year was because it would just be kind of interesting to run it on a new season. Like as buggy as it might be, as crappy as the game could have been, it was just like this is something we've been planning for a while. Like before the announcement dropped for like what was going to happen, and I mean I don't regret it. They could have done anything, like, and we still would have done this. And I just think I think it is more interesting because the game is different, so people aren't watching just another game of League. I
Hmm.
guess it's like this is going to be their first like quote competitive experience of League, of the season. So I think it'll be quite interesting because a lot of these players are very competitive. They play competitively. I play competitively. A lot of our captains do. A lot of the draftable players, and it's just I think it'll be awesome for everybody. Like people who don't play the game are coming back because they want to play it. People who have been playing want to play it because they want to play on the new season, or people just want to play because they have fun playing with their friends or getting drafted in general. So um, I think it was kind of like a more of a community thing, but um, that was kind of our motivation, I'd say.
All right, and Oral, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, regarding the new season, um, I think that there's an approach that Riot is having that I enjoy a bit, and I think this season was like good. Like there was chess this season, but it wasn't the way I wanted it to be. I think they want to shorten the times of games, especially with that idea of split push. It's gonna force to make decision way earlier. Like if you're facing a split pusher top, right now they don't exist, so it's just a fight every 5 minutes. But like if you have a Fiora ending your base, you have to take a decision. And I think like game were getting a bit too long, and bringing back power to top laners will and solo laners and turrets falling faster and the plating, etc. I think it's good to make game quicker or force decisions, especially in competitive. In solo queue, it's a different experience, but in competitive, it felt like a bit boring in the sense that at words we saw grubs, like at grubs you swap, then you go back to your lanes, you play Drake, team at third Drake we fight at fourth Drake, etc., until there's no more Drake. And so it was like, yes, but it's kind of boring. And they're trying to bring more volatility. They're gonna be stuff that are gonna be completely OP, but I think that's good also. Like it's not a big change. It's not gonna change everything on League and all our basics, but I do like it. And regarding the tournament specifically, I think it's combination of it's new season, so it's gonna be fun to. It's also gonna push players to play competitive the game before the big season starts, like Titan Ages, etc.
Hmm.
And it's also at the same time new season in general, so people are gonna be motivated to play. So there's double motivation. It's like there's nothing happening at the same time in terms of big leagues and tournaments, and it's new season, so people usually want to play and like grind, etc. But I think it's a very good time to make the league indeed, as Water said.
Alrighty. Uh, Completely understandable, and I appreciate your guys' opinions on that. And it was very enlightening for somebody who's been kind of disconnected from the scene for a while, right? Both the competitive and like the casual competitive scene. For me, there's been a lot of disconnect, so I've been spending a little bit of time in preparation for the tournament, learning bits and pieces of information about the new season, trying to get myself refamiliarized, especially with me going to be a caster for the event for when I am available.
next split, next season 4. Don't worry, Tommy.
Season 4, I won't have a shit job anymore. True.
Real.
Anyways, and hopefully my team doesn't FF. Anyways, so we've kind of gone over everything, right? How you guys feel about your teams, how you guys feel about kind of the whole tournament as a whole. So with all that being said, is there anything that you kind of want to put your foot down, stand your ground on, right? Talk a little trash on the DL, right? What? Give me something to feed off of each of you.
Fine. If I have to flame water, I can. If that's
I go
that's
if you're gonna flame water, that's your choice. If you want to flame Feldy,
No,
that's your
but
choice. You want to flame Stro, pick your poison, right?
look, I think it's pretty obvious. Like, I know, like, I love Indigo, but like, I'm gonna show Fraudulent Kunda like his place. You know, like he talk big as always, and it's very fun to have him talk big. But at the end of the day, it's not because he's a bad mid laner that he's gonna be a good support. You know, so like, I think I'm just gonna put him back at his place. You know, by getting gapped by Huvi and by gapping Kunda. I think that's what I want to say.
All right, and water. Anything from your end?
Yeah, I'm gonna flame Punda too.
Okay.
Fair.
No,
Face.
I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure everyone knows that I've said this. Punda is a terrible support.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible at it. Punda himself knows it. He just won't admit it. The only thing he's good at is the champions he plays in support, which I'll give him some credit. Like, I wouldn't want to queue up solo queue to queue up LeBlanc support every game. Like, I don't know, that seems so boring. Like, playing the game incorrectly. I guess like a lot of people find enjoyment in that. Like, why else would you lock in Teemo? But my other flame, it's not really a flame. It's Newt. I still love you, but like, Arcana's Prime is better than yours. Sorry, bro. That's why I went with him.
Alrighty. And with that being said, we have one more little tidbit of content to go through with these two. So, Aurel, if you would like to take the stage.
Yeah. Of course, I wanted to, and I hope I'm not wrong on my timing, but I wanted to say thank you already for, especially the content team, to you, Tommy, to Chime also, who's working, um, to everyone who's doing tier list, etc. I think it's mainly the reason why we're doing that. Like, we all know each other's. It's not like a big league, etc. So we're allowed to trash talk each other, speak a lot, and all the animation around this Water Invitational 3 is like, for me personally, like a complete motivation to make sure that this one for every players on the league will be memorable and maybe start something. So yeah, again, I'm very appreciated for like all the efforts that people are putting on the content team, all the people who want to cast, the producers, etc. Like, there's too much people motivated. I'm not even sure I can get everyone ready. You know, like, I actually feel like a manager now. So thanks a lot on this end to the content team, to you, Tommy, to Chime, to the people who want to cast, to produce, to do tier list, to send message, etc. That's how you make the tournament live, and that's how it's gonna be high.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup, Aurel, for that. And with that being said, that is going to be the end of this interview. It's probably longer than all the other ones combined, but for good reason. Again, thank you for everybody watching. This is going to be a great experience. I hope that this actually brings everybody just a little bit more joy, especially in the winter. Let's beat that seasonal depression. And hopefully everything goes great. Good luck to everyone. And may the odds be ever in your favor, my friends. With that being said, au revoir.